everyone, today we're discussing 6 symptoms of PCOS that you should not ignore and leave unmanaged. In case you haven't been here before, my name is Tali. I'm a registered dietitian for PCOS women, and I've helped thousands of women reverse their symptoms and lose weight just like I have. If you've been ignoring your symptoms for months or years because you don't know where to start with managing PCOS, you're not the only one. I want you to know there's so much you can do to reverse your symptoms. You don't have to suffer. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to boost your insulin sensitivity by 10%. Now let's jump into it. These are 6 symptoms of PCOS that you do not want to sweep under the rug. Firstly, do not ignore irregular periods and just consider them as normal. The first symptom to watch out for with PCOS is irregular periods, but technically you don't have to have them in order to be diagnosed. To be diagnosed, you need 2 out of the 3 symptoms: irregular periods, hirsutism, and ovarian cysts. If your periods are irregular or you're experiencing long gaps between cycles, it could be a sign of hormonal imbalances associated with PCOS. I personally didn't have my period for a whole year when I was struggling with PCOS, and it was so challenging for me. But irregular periods don't always mean late periods. It can mean you have really bad cramps and PMS, which you should not be accepting as normal symptoms either. Again, like I said earlier, you do not have to suffer with PCOS. Getting your period consistent and with minimal PMS is an important thing to work toward for many reasons. There are risks to having irregular periods. One risk is infertility. If you have irregular periods, you likely have trouble regularly ovulating, which can lead to cystic ovaries. The eggs don't grow and mature and release during ovulation, leading to the development of small fluid-filled sacs or cysts on the ovaries. This makes it challenging for women with PCOS to conceive and leads to fertility issues. Irregular cycles may result in inadequate shedding of the uterine lining during your period as well, and a buildup of tissue in the uterus can put you at risk for endometrial cancer over time. Irregular cycles can also be a sign of underlying metabolic dysfunction like insulin resistance. Check out my video on insulin resistance, symptoms, and treatments. It's important to learn about it because 70 to 80% of women with PCOS have insulin resistance, which can lead to high testosterone, infertility, and irregular periods. Insulin resistance is completely reversible and manageable and should be addressed first and foremost when trying to regulate your period. Taking a supplement like Ovasitol can help support you in reversing insulin resistance because it gets down to the root cause on a cellular level. It's the most researched supplement for PCOS and can help with getting your period back as well as improving egg quality and ovulation. I dropped the link in the description for you. The second PCOS symptom you cannot ignore is hyperandrogenism. Hyperandrogenism means you have high testosterone in your blood. Symptoms often show up as increased facial hair or body hair, cystic acne, skin issues, and even hair loss. Really, this symptom is like the physical proof of PCOS on the outside of your body. So many women reach out to me on a daily basis talking about how discouraging it is to be dealing with these symptoms that cause lack of self-esteem, depression, and anxiety. I get it, I used to have incredibly painful cystic acne before I learned to manage PCOS. The only solution I had from doctors was to take spironolactone and birth control to mask the symptoms, but I knew this wouldn't make it go away and would only put a band-aid on the huge issue I was having underneath. So what are the risks of ignoring hyperandrogenism? Elevated testosterone can also cause irregular menstrual cycles and ovulatory dysfunction. It's all connected, sisters. If you want more tips on how to lower testosterone with PCOS, you gotta watch my video, 4 tips to naturally lower testosterone with PCOS. The third PCOS symptom you cannot ignore is weight gain. Weight management can be a complex and ongoing struggle with PCOS. With PCOS, it certainly is more complex, and because of factors like insulin resistance and hormonal imbalances, it can get a little tricky. When we go about losing weight with PCOS, it's not about looking better. I'm sure you know this. It's about healing the root hormonal cause of the weight gain so we can feel better and thrive. PCOS causes weight gain. Weight gain does not cause PCOS. Ultimately, by addressing the root causes of your PCOS, you can lose weight naturally. Check out this video on how Victoria lost 30 pounds with PCOS by following the PCOS weight loss method. The 4th PCOS symptom you cannot ignore is fatigue and insomnia. Hormonal imbalances and insulin resistance can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to fatigue during the day and difficulty falling or staying asleep at night. Really, this leads to cortisol dysregulation. Cortisol is our stress hormone. Cortisol plays a crucial role in metabolism, an immune response, and the body's stress response. The body's stress response, often referred to as the fight or flight response, involves the release of cortisol to help your body cope with what's stressing you. However, chronic stress can result in constant elevated cortisol levels or an abnormal cortisol rhythm, which leads to that exhaustion during the day and then feeling awake at night. High cortisol also contributes to weight gain and insulin resistance. Yes, cortisol dysregulation increases belly fat. If you were in a high-stakes survival situation, your body would increase cortisol in order to protect you, and fat accumulates around your belly to protect your reproductive organs. That would be great if you were in a serious situation, but with modern-day society, the way we struggle with environmental endocrine disruptors, the screens we look at, our cortisol is at an all-time high in the safety of our own homes, especially if you're working out more and eating less for PCOS weight loss. The 5th symptom of PCOS that you just cannot ignore is mood swings and depression. The prevalence of depression in women with PCOS is high and varies from 28 to 64%, and the prevalence of anxiety in women with PCOS ranges from 34 to 57%. Now that's a lot. So what can affect our mood? Physical symptoms like infertility, hirsutism, weight gain, and irregular periods, as well as hormonal issues involving high cortisol and high insulin levels. If you're noticing significant changes in your mood, increased irritability, or feelings of sadness, it's crucial that you seek support and community. In the Sisterhood app, we have a strong community of PCOS women that reach out daily, talking about their journeys, offering encouragement and advice to one another, and just being a support system. I'm in there myself, always answering PCOS questions. I'm going to link the Sisterhood app below for you to join. The 6th symptom of PCOS that you cannot ignore is the symptoms that come from your PCOS type. There are 4 main PCOS types. As I mentioned before, it's so important to discover what's going on in your body so you can take the right steps forward. This is really what made all the difference for me personally. So I created a quiz, and you can take it. I've linked it in the description, and that's to help you discover your PCOS type so that you can take the next steps towards managing PCOS. Remember, recognizing and addressing these symptoms early on can make a significant difference in managing PCOS and improving your overall health. Thank you, sister, for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with anyone you know who has PCOS. Talk to you soon.